Morning. Here's my vlog for the podcast where Chris Voss is interviewed by Carl. I actually like this better than the Tactical Empathy movie. I think Carl was able to draw a little more out. He still told more stories than actual tactics, but if you listen to the stories, you can kind of pick up the tactics. For instance, he was talking about one of his team members, probably his son, asking a killer or a guy who had a hostage, what happens when the money runs out? What happens to the hostage when we don't have any more money to pay you? And that kind of threw the hostage taker. And that's the point of communicating with the limbic system, is you have to get through their logic brain and talk to them. The limbic system is, the more you study it, the more you see that to communicate directly to somebody's limbic system, you need to be present, because the body language is and your tone and your energy is really what communicates directly limbic to limbic. And so negotiating over the phone, or especially over some sort of text or whatever, would be really, really hard. But Chris teaches how to do that in conversation, and you have to kind of shock them out of logic and make them think emotional. Then you can talk to their emotional brain, their subconscious, a little bit with suggestions. We also talked about like Patrick Mahomes and his drive. Not a big Mahomes fan, but again, if you're doing deal making or negotiation, you got to be able to look past your personal feelings about the subjects that come up, so you can control it. So, for instance, you just get, if you don't like Mahomes, you get a tinge when he brings him up. But if you can shut that down and listen to his point is how driven Mahomes is. It's the next level. So he's willing to take risks and do wild things and attempt things that others might not. And so he's going to win more often. So that was a great point. We need to be able to balance that in deal making and in life. Plan and practice and study, but in action, be willing to take a risk, say a thing. I've said some things to people in deals or in negotiations and in conversation that really do shock them. And I don't mean like in a bad way. Some of the things, like if you get the response, hey, that belongs on a t-shirt, you probably touched them deeper than logic.